Today's video, I'm going to show you how to drop 18 kilograms across 21 weeks, but most importantly, change the pussy bitch mindset, which is holding most of you back from achieving said result. But before I do, I want to take the time to give a special shout out to the Nordics. They do not play motherfucking games. Look at that. Iceland transformation in the bottom left. Guy from Norway absolutely blows your socks off. And now we've got someone from Denmark. So if you are from any of the other remaining Nordic countries and you're watching this, send me a message. Let's get you set up. Let's complete and show the world how you fucking do it in that neck of the woods, because it really, really is absolutely top tier stuff. Once again, great shout out to these boys. Very, very well done. Now, let's roll straight into the video and teach you how you're going to drop 18 kgs across 21 weeks. So, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tom Sergey. Welcome. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this each and every week with the title of today's video, how to drop 18 kg of body fat, and most importantly, change your motherfucking mindset so you actually believe you can and therefore will be able to execute on the plan. Now, we're just going to go through his starting point, which was coming in at 78 kg, and I believe, again, shoot me down if you think I'm wrong, 30% body fat for our starting point. Now, because if you do the math on that, his lean mass is not that high. Therefore, we needed to start fairly low on food at 1830. Yes, that's right, 1830 calories. 3-day training split. Why? Well, he was brand spanking new to training, and therefore you do not need look at training stimulus as a dosage of medicine. You do not need something that's going to cure cancer just for your headache. Training stimulus is the same. You don't need to start on a 5-day split if you're brand spanking new to the gym. Start on a 3-day, milk the living daylights out of that, and then push it to a 4-day after that. 10k steps, no formal cardio to begin with. Now, the next slide, I'm going to show you exactly what we did at each week to get the end result, so you can merely look at your own plans and think, am I doing exactly this? Now, if you set up well, you can see for the first 6 weeks, we did not need to make any changes. We were in a good enough deficit, moving enough, training enough, and we were seeing the scale weight drop off very nicely. After week 6, it started to slow down a touch, so we pushed some cardio in there. You know me, I am in the camp of pushing cardio before I like to pull from food. So we went in with the 30 minutes of daily cardio. This is good because now you're on a treadmill, you're moving, the headphones are in, you're thinking about the best version you need to become of yourself, and it is a useful amount of time. The flip side would have been to pull from more food. If you're already not on a lot of food, that's not going to be the wisest of decisions, because you need food to drive performance in the gym. You're going to suffer your weight enough if you're having to do a 30% down to around 8, 10, 12% body fat. So I wouldn't be pulling from food too early. As you can see, we did not. So from there, we then went down through and did not need to make another single change until week 14. Absolutely gold mine for what we were on. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Then we pushed it to 40 minutes of daily cardio. Then the week after, we pulled food, a good amount, 190 calories. As you can see then, wasn't on a lot of feeding after that. From there, no changes were needed. Then I pushed the intensity of his cardio up, 130 to 140. Just to clarify, where we very start out is 120 to 130 beats per minute. Week 18, no changes. Week 19, as we were getting towards the end, I pushed the cardio up again to 60 minutes. And then in the last week, we pulled that last bit of food off, made him suffer his way through the final week, and that is what was able to pull down the body fat and get us towards the end game and the result. So that was the process we took. What's the message to you here? Because obviously this is very personal to him. The message to you is you want to find out your maintenance. There are many calorie calculators online that will establish that for you. From there, sit yourself into a deficit. If you are 30% body fat, you go a little bit more aggressive, probably in around the space of 500 calories. Walk 10k steps. You won't need cardio to begin with, because if you're 30% body fat and you start eating a deficit and walking and training, I guarantee you your body's like, holy fuck, what are you doing to us? So it's going to start dropping very, very nicely. Save the cardio as a tool in your top left pocket for when things start to slow down. Then from there, you're going to push that output, drive down the deficit week after week after week. Keep continuing to drive the deficit through cardio until you almost run out of time. I do appreciate some of you live busy lives. It's not always feasible to do 60 minutes of cardio per day. Then the trade-off is you're going to have to pull from food. But I would always encourage push the cardio first, keep the food high. Why? Because it'll drive training performance. That is the biggest factor for you building and also pulling off. Building muscle and also retaining muscle whilst you pull off the body fat. So that is why I like to do that, do it in that way round. So that is the process. Now, in order for us to achieve the process, we must fix what goes on between the eyes and your mindset. You see, he's not special, I'm not special, and neither are you. But the difference is, he was willing to suffer his way through this plan to get to the end goal. Most people are not. Most people will do it for a little bit, but there's always something. There's always an excuse as to why they can't. They're always just a little bit too busy, or there's an external reason why they just couldn't stick to it. And there might be. But that is a mental choice that you say in your head, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with using this excuse and still being exactly where I am in a few weeks, months, or even, for the most part, years' time. It's simply down to a choice and a mindset that you make. And why do you make that? Because ultimately, how you see yourself is a direct reflection. The world is a direct reflection of how you see yourself. People only treat you how you treat yourself. Now, where I'm going with this is, if you decide to accept the fact that because you're busy, you can't get in shape, you will never get in shape. But once you decide that everything is your fault, no motherfucker is going to come and save you, maybe I will. If you're working with me, obviously I will. But most other people don't. Most other people don't care that you're not in shape either, and they would prefer that you didn't, because they don't want to see you overtake them, because then it makes them feel worse about themselves. If you ever have a friend that you see smashing it, unless he's a really good friend and you like him, you'll be a little bit bitter about the situation, whether you want to admit it to me or you don't. So you only have one other option: to dress everything back, to have some sheer humility that when you look in the mirror, you're like, I am a piece of shit, and I've done this to myself, and the only way through this is to pause, take accountability of it, and to make the time. If you don't make the time, it's not going to appear out of thin air, and you're never going to be able to get anywhere towards the result. Now, how you see yourself is absolutely everything. If you see yourself as loser guy, can't drop body fat, has always been fat, is okay with being fat, likes to party, I can't do this, I've just got a good social life, and you see that as an absolute necessity to your life, then you will always be this loser guy. And you can stay out of shape if you want. I really do not mind, but don't expect me to respect you, and don't expect anyone else to respect you. I've got great friends, but they're not in great shape, and therefore I don't respect them. They're nice, they're cool, I'm not going to shit on them, but if they're not, versus my friends that are in shape, I'm just not going to respect them the same. Obviously. And this is not me being harsh, this is just the way my brain works, and weirdly enough, the way human beings work. You see someone walking down the street who's in shape, you're going to respect him more. It's just a long and short of it. I don't make the rules, I just help you fucking play the game, that is all. So, the first thing you need to do is address how you see yourself and with your mindset. You must now see yourself. If you're actually serious about this, you can watch this video to the end and do nothing with it, fine, cheers for the view. But if you're actually serious about doing something, what you need to do is you need to start to view yourself as an athlete. Now, I don't do affirmations, but I do look in the mirror and believe that if I want to do something, I am that guy that can do it. Same with these transformations. I'm like, I am the guy that can get X amount of people in shape, and it will happen. And lo and behold, we're making it happen. From this point forward, if you want to go from A to B, what most people do, and I'll draw this out for you, is this is how most people try to go from A to B. They are here, set up at A. They want to go to B here. Now, what most people do is they'll set off on their quest from A to B, but because A, they're starting to get, they're not like even just a week or two into this plan, they're starting to get uncomfortable because it's challenging their comfy self and how they've always been. Something will happen that will slightly distract them or give them a little cope way out, and they'll make sideways progress. And they'll stay around this bit for a while, and they'll conjure up the progress again to see, I actually didn't make this much progress, and they'll start to move forward. Great. For a little bit, and then again, something else will distract them, and they'll move backwards. And then they'll stay around at this place a bit, and again, they're just burning more time. And then they'll realise again, oh, no, this is the time, I'm actually going to do it. And they might even get a little bit further this time, and then something will happen, and it'll block them off. Because the problem is, most people cannot stick to one goal. Most people cannot set a target and stick to it. Most of you motherfuckers can't even set a workout routine and stick to that for 2 weeks without changing it for a new shiny object. Because most of you will walk in the gym, see a guy with a bigger muscle group than you in an area you want to develop, but it's not in your program, and you will completely switch the workout routine, and you will then start to follow that. Most of you motherfuckers will start out on the quest to get in the best shape of your life, and then you'll pivot when you're about 13% body fat and change to Hyrox, because you think it's cool to be able to run around with fucking bags and barbells and stuff and you see yourself as an athlete, when realistically you're now not really in shape and also not that fit at Hyrox either. This is the whole hybrid athlete approach. The hybrid athlete approach is pretty comical because there's people that are like not really good at one or the other, just a blend of shit together. When realistically, you could be amazing at just one thing, but most people are so fucking arrogant they believe they can be a jack of all trades. I don't. I'm good at one thing, and that's getting people in the best shape of their life. to do with body recomposition, to do with calorie deficit, to do with this specific style of hypertrophy training program, and I stick to that one version of the truth, and that is all. I don't try and see myself as some martial artist. I don't try and see myself as some CrossFitter. I'm not saying you can't do it for a little bit of an enjoyment. There's a sprinkle once every 12 weeks or so, just for a little bit of a mental deload. But what I am saying is stick to one thing. The only way you will get good at anything in life is just to have your one thing, stick to it, and send it. Or don't. But this is what it looks like when you don't do that. When you don't do that, you can essentially, you can try and do it like this. And this is how most arrogant people live. Let's say you've got person A, person B. The barrier to the goal you wanted to hit was here. Now, person A is so fucking arrogant, he believes he can get in good shape, he can be a Hyrox athlete, he can also level up his business, he can also travel, he can also learn the fucking violin. And he believes he's good across all areas. Person B knows he's never going to learn the violin. Knows he's going to do one holiday this year. Knows he's not going to do CrossFit, but he might do the odd, week holiday where he goes to his camp for a break. But then he believes he can put everything into one thing. And guess what happens when you put everything into one thing? You get really good at the one thing. While this arrogant motherfucker is here on level 1 in everything. No one cares if you're level 1 in everything because you can't help anyone. You can't add any value to anyone when you're level 1 in everything. Your best bet was to just pick one thing, pick one goal and stick to it. Now, guess what? You're going to hit the goal. So then what do? Well, then you can pick another goal and you can repeat the process. So while he is trying to edge forward all levels of his life really slowly, never feels like he's made progress in all of them, you get this one guy who's gets the best shape of his life. Then you got this one guy who just decides work is the process. Now he's got both of these in place. Now he's like, right, fuck it, it's relationships now. And then he spends all his time fucking dating birds. He's going to have a very happy life across all 3 areas because he just picked one thing and stuck to it. While this motherfucker here is trying to edge each thing forward and is stopping and starting and losing momentum in other tracks to then go and start new things. But I get it. I get it because what people do is they see their deficit in one thing, see someone smash it and then try to copy them in that thing. But the problem is they see so many problems in themselves, they can't just stick to one thing. That is honestly the art of coaching here. The art of coaching is simply just to get you to stick to one thing. That's why I check in with you every week. That's why I grill you on doing what we do. That's why we realign the mindset every time. I have people that make loads of progress, get towards the end, they're like, I'm thinking about stopping now because I feel like I look pretty good and I think we should bulk. It's like, motherfucker, we set the goal to exceed and achieve a solid transformation result. You are 2 to 3 kg away from that. Why the fuck would you stop now? Just because you're feeling a little bit flat because you've not had carbs in a while? Or if I gave you a refeed now, your processor would completely change. And this is the art of coaching. This is why, and before I ever used to get coaching myself, I used to think, why do people get coaching? It's not like, you just train and eat. But no. It's not about training and eating. It's about managing your fucking mindset that just wants to jump from thing to thing to thing and leave you in the most mediocre place. The only people who believe in balance or the people that you probably don't want to be listening to. The savages that are where you want to be, they just did one thing really good, got very good at the thing, and then moved on to another thing. And that's how you become balanced, but you can't become balanced all at the same time. It's one thing stuck to for the longest period of time. Now, the way you, in the absolute short term, go from A to B is not by moving the needle forward, because these buffers here denote the fact that when you get a certain place, your identity is being challenged, and it is looking for any, and I mean any option out of this hard, grueling path, because it's fucking hard and it's painful, and most people don't want to stick their way through it because their why wasn't strong enough in the first place. That's why they're so easily distracted. So any opportunity that comes to change and pivot and let this painful scenario stop, it is absolutely welcomed with your monkey brain. Not that you are a monkey, but we both have a smart brain and a monkey brain. The monkey brain most of the time takes over when you're in a space of discomfort. This is why most motherfuckers, where it's you could go on 5 dates and they'd be so painful because you'd be awful at it and you just hate every second of it, or you could just have a wank to porn and then you get the same fix. So much easier to have the wank, so much more painful to do the thing, but realistically the thing you actually wanted was only through pain. So how do we then, if this is the problem, all right, Clever Clogs, what's the solution? The solution is not from trying to go from A to B with how you see yourself. We have to fix this first. We have to believe you are already at B. So almost reverse engineer. How would the guy that is at B, how would he live his life? If someone is where you want them to be, look at how they live their life and copy them. There's no sexy answer there. Just fucking copy what they do. Because if you copy the actions they do, that will confirm that you are the person. Once you confirm that you are the person, you will see yourself and your aura will live and breathe like the person. It's very hard in the beginning to just create that out of thin air. That's why you need the tangible habits that they do, which would be wake up early, eat clean foods, train 3 to 5 days a week, get 4 to 5 litres of water per day, eat pink salt, shower for goodness sake, genuinely stay away from negative people, just believe you can get to the goal and things will change. For me, I just genuinely believed I could get to the goal. I went to a place far away from home and well away from anybody that I knew, and I could lock myself in one room and just work like a dog with my belief and my mindset that it would work out. And guess what? It fucking worked out. The results speak for themselves. You can do this too. I'm not special, you're not special, but your mindset will simply stop you. Your own brain will essentially stand on your own dick and stop you from getting there. That's why you'll fuck it up. We could give you the thing right now. I could click my fingers and give you the six pack. You'll fuck it up because you're not capable, because you didn't do the work to become the person. We could give you whatever you wanted right now. You would still somehow fuck it up. That's the reality of it. This is why people that win the lottery end up poor after, because they're not millionaire people. They're poor people that won the lottery. There's a big fucking difference. So, and this is not, I'm not trying to be an arsehole, I'm just saying that it's just cause and effect. This is why this happens. So don't chase the end result as well. Don't think about the six pack. Just think about the person you had to get the six pack. That will give you much more fulfillment. Because if you ever lost the six pack, because you did the trials and tribulations to get there, you would have full confidence that you could get it back. So the pain would be a lot less. And then you would just go through the trials and tribulations and you get it back. But if you didn't become the person, and I clicked my fingers, and you carried on living your normal life, you'd fuck it up and you wouldn't know how to get it back. But now you've had a taste of the sweet top spot. And that's even more painful than never having the thing in the first place. This is why when you ever break up from a girl that you liked, it's much more painful because you actually liked her and you've not experienced that before. So because it was new and then she left, you found it really harsh and upsetting because it was a valuable thing to you. Even though she wasn't special, just another girl in the world, but as a separate story. The point is, you need to believe you are already the person so that your habits can also confirm that you are that person. Don't spread yourself thin. Stick to one goal and you will get to it. Here is the evidence. Okay, 60 kg, I believe sat at 12% body fat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But a completely new human being that is ready to go and summit the world in 2025. So hopefully you found this useful. If you did, subscribe for more. If you have questions, put them in the comments. I do reply to them most of the time through a video. Otherwise, there may be the odd comment I respond to. Honestly, I've just got busy and I sometimes just don't get a chance to read through the comments because I would rather think of more videos to actually help the people than respond to comments. But if you have serious questions, let me know because I can always answer them in their own video if they are of good, solid merit. If you could as well, when you have a question, just write the word question and ... because I'll know straight away you've seen this, you're serious, it's a proper question, and we can go. So, thank you for watching. If you found it useful, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.